What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you guys for joining me for another video. Today I want to look at the Ravens wide receiver core. I want to see if they have fixed this unit, made it dangerous, or is this potentially the most overrated unit in the entire NFL? Now, recently, a lot has been made about the reshaped receiving core in Baltimore. ESPN even highlighted the unit as one that could make history. Head coach John Harbaugh also stated this group might be the best receiving core. It is up to them, but I am very excited about them. So what I wanted to do today is take a look at this group, deep dive their statistics, what they have done over the last couple of years to see for ourselves. Is this really a unit that can turn the corner, or is this merely coach speak after being the least productive group in the entire NFL last season? Now, just because there are 5 former first-round picks on the current roster does not in any way mean that this unit is destined to turn it around. So let's take a look 1 to 5 to see what history and recent production have to say on this matter. We're looking at Rashad Bateman, Odell Beckham Jr., Nelson Agholor, Laquan Treadwell, and of course newly signed rookie Zay Flowers. We're going to start with the biggest name and the biggest paycheck. Beckham got big money this offseason, netting almost $14 million in guarantees at signing. He also has the potential to earn another $3 million in incentives. The Ravens clearly think there's plenty left in the tank. However, OBJ has not had a 1,000-yard receiving season since 2019, and he's had nearly a 20-month layoff between games. By the time he suits up in September, that is nearly 2 full years. That is a lot of time off, and we're not even talking about the time he's had between having legitimate production as an NFL receiver. Next, we're going to look at Nelson Agholor, who has yet to have even a 900-yard season in his career, and he has less yardage than that in just 5 touchdowns in the last 2 seasons combined. He hasn't caught 50 balls in a year since 2018. After getting big money to go to New England, to say that he disappointed would be an understatement. The Patriots signed him for that reason, and they were beyond desperate to have a wideout step up and take reins of that number 1 role. Agholor could not sniff it. There's been a lack of consistency, even with massive opportunity for him, so I'm not sure why we would expect that to change all of a sudden. Next, we're going to take a look at Laquan Treadwell, whose best trait at this point is probably his ability to trick teams into giving him another shot. The Ravens are going to be his 7th team. 7th! In the last 5 years, so clearly he hasn't been able to make an impact or a worthwhile impression. He has just 5 touchdowns in his 76 career games and not a single season with 500 yards receiving. This is likely going to be his last chance to earn a roster spot and stick. As a Vikings fan who personally witnessed his inadequacy for 4 straight seasons, let me just say I have plenty of doubts. Rashad Bateman has flashed ability in his first 2 years in the league. I do like him a lot, but he hasn't been able to put it all together over the course of an entire season. He's missed nearly half of the Ravens' 34 games that he could have participated in. If he can stay on the field, I like Bateman's chances at breaking out as the most talented wideout that Baltimore has. But he also has just 800 yards and 3 touchdowns as a pro to this point, so there is plenty left to prove and a lot of projection going on Baltimore's end. Finally, Zay Flowers. He is an intriguing prospect that should be able to develop into a difference maker. However, he is just 5'9", so overcoming that lack of size is the first hurdle he'll have to overcome. He does have solid route running ability and he can separate well, so that is going to help him adapt to the pro game. However, we know many receivers struggle in year 1. That transition is not always so simple, so it is yet to be seen what actual impact he is going to have, especially early in the season. So with all that being said and looking at all of these playmakers for Baltimore, who is the number 1 from this group? Personally, I like Bateman the most, but the best ability is availability, and Bateman has not shown that yet. So is it Odell Beckham? Just because the Ravens paid him as a number one does not mean he is going to perform as such. Considering it's been nearly half of a decade since he looked the part, I certainly have my doubts. On to Zay Flowers, he could certainly be that guy, but it is not going to be right out of the gate, and do not even get me started on Aguilar or Treadwell. These guys simply do not have what it takes. They have proven that over the last 5-6 years. The fact of the matter is, it could be none of these guys stepping up and truly performing like a number one and even a number two receiver. There is not a single proven receiver on this roster that has had success recently, and that gives me pause. More or less, it feels like a jumbled group that was put together hoping one, maybe two guys stick, more so than a curated unit that was clearly constructed to maximize their quarterback's success. Instead, the Ravens are projecting and hoping that Beckham finds a time machine and goes back to 2019. That Rashad Bateman plays more than half of the year because the third time is the charm, and that Laquan Treadwell and Nelson Aguilar shake off the full-on bust label that they have each earned to varying degrees, enough to at least make them worthy of being on the field. Flowers avoids criticism from me because at this point we just don't know. So to circle back, historic as ESPN would lead you to believe, not so much. The best unit like Coach John Harbaugh is selling, I don't buy it. The Ravens are going to be lucky to get a single pass catcher to break the 1,000-yard barrier. There is not a single bona fide playmaker or star in the lot. Now, together, they could dig themselves out of the cellar after being the worst receiving group in the entire league last year, but they are still likely to finish in the bottom half of the NFL. To me, the job to fix the group of pass catchers in Baltimore still needs a lot of work, and right now, they are the most overrated unit in the league. Hope you guys enjoyed the content today. Let me know your thoughts on this group of playmakers in Baltimore. I would love to hear what you have to say as well. Drop those comments down below. It is one of the reasons that I do this. I am so grateful for all of my current subscribers. Thank you guys for continuing to support me. Let's keep moving Relentless Press forward together. Drop a like, subscribe as well. That is all so appreciated. This is Relentless Press. I'm your host, Abraham Opatz, and I will see you next time.